So, what do you do when your dreams don't match your reality, things you've dreamed of? And also, what happens when people are depending on you? So, today we'll be talking about passion versus reality. So, so this is a question, and it's going to be more like an interactive session, more like a story telling session, where we talk about like passion, and then we talk about stability. That's the word, and what our reality is now. So, what do you think when it comes to passion in like career decisions? Like you're trying to make a career, like where does passion play a part, and where does the role of reality or stability play a part?
It's nice to be back. Let me say thank you for the privilege, but it's so nice to be back. And let's kick off this discussion. Funny enough, I still had that conversation with one of my bosses that came yesterday night, and he was saying that he had to speak with his brother about the passion versus money making venture. And there's one thing with passion that I've noticed. This is just me being funny. That passion, many times, it looks like when you are not under a form of policing to do something, it begins to look like passion. But your passion might stop being your passion when you're being policed to do it. And so that's why we look at work versus passion and everything. But to not leave the conversation, I still think passion, if your passion, would not give you any form of living, pause your passion first. Or better still, work on your passion in, you know, your leisure time. But I believe you can passionate about something. I mean, I'm a living proof of being passionate about something that you want to see work, and you go for it. So I think that you can have passion. But yeah.
Yeah, so let's backtrack a little bit. When it comes to, let's start with when it comes to like when you're in secondary school or high school, or you're thinking about what you want to do as a course of study in the university or in college. So at that point, should we be thinking, or should people be thinking about like passion? Should they be thinking about actual career prospects at that stage in their life?
So again, I'm using my maybe because I'm privileged to have some life experiences where people will send their words to me to say, "Oh, please cancel. Oh, we want and stuff like that." And then the counsel I will give usually might not match what the parents were expecting, because they will feel like I should say, "Oh, try to see what mommy and daddy is saying," and everything. But I usually ask people because I'm grateful for my dad, although he also he put hand in the way I was gonna grow up. Because playing soccer this evening, I was just telling a friend that this would have been this is what I wanted to do based on passion. But eventually he said no. He wanted me to do something academic. And I'm grateful, because if I had followed that passion blindly then, I don't know, probably I might be messy. We never know. But I could also be somewhere in Oshodi still trying to they calling you Kochi. But here, and in their time, football was not as profitable as it is today. So now looking back, it's my yeah, but at least academics will still be a level ground where you have more people, you break through more from it. So usually in counseling people, let them see the reality of life. We are now in a world where everybody would have a say. Even your child will say, "Daddy, this is what I want to do," and you can't object. But I still feel that there should be that guidance, and let them see why you're guiding the person like that. Because sometimes you might think something is good for someone, but if they don't see it, they might not buy into the vision. So my dad always wanted us to see, though it wasn't clear then, but there was still this dream that once you do well in school, you make money after school. So one way, that okay, it was still. But my passion then was football, and the thing is that passion evolved with time. So you now have many other things. So just imagine you just stayed with that passion, something else now come up. Who would have thought that my passion in this period of my life would be something around camera, video making, and all of that? So I think it will evolve, but cancel people. in a place where you have some form of veto power to say do this, and I think it will help the person, I think you should still do it, especially in your formative age, between
I
10.
have a very opinion, but
No, I know the American system would believe that, but I still believe between 10, especially between 10, 17, 18, I think those years would be one of the most defining part of your life, where yes, you can still do better in life, no doubt, but as per career, the things you will eventually become in that career line, I think, as a parent, if you feel that this is what, and your child also is dancing to that tune, not like the person is not good in maths, you are forcing the
yeah,
person.
so that's I think that's where I wanted to come into like that. That's why I feel like I'm objecting to what you said about like trying to guide, because the truth is that you can have a good notion, you can have like you can say okay, oh, because of what I've seen and I feel like you should go into this field, and the child is saying no. So it was kind of different for me because when I was growing up, I always wanted to be an aerospace engineer. So really, nobody really objected to that because it sounded logical. So it was not like my passion was in something abstract or something totally different, that it was not really like in line. Although my dad wanted me to study medicine because he could not study medicine, and then he was like, oh, she will study medicine because I was in, yeah, so because I was in sciences. So but I said I don't even like to see blood, I hated seeing wounds, so I felt like it was not going to work for me. So imagine at that time, there's it was like forced on me. I will feel like because it's forced on me, I don't want to, I hate it, I don't want to do it. It was going to affect me down the line because I would not want to, I would not like anything. I didn't even like biology. I didn't really fancy chemistry. I preferred physics. I really liked the technical drawing. I like maths, further maths. But biology, I was passing it. But it was not something, I was passing it because I like getting good grades, not because I really liked it. Chemistry, I was passing it as well because I just like passing. So, but it was not like something I was really passionate about. So, if I was forced to have gone to study medicine because they feel like that's what was best for me to do, I I will be the, the most terrible medical doctor today. I might have followed through with it, but I feel like I was going to be miserable. It may turn out I will not be miserable at it because now we are actually always going into the whole medical thing, trying to figure things out. So I may not be miserable eventually, but I feel like at that time, because it was something that was forced upon me, it's not something I really wanted to. Because I feel like if I had the passion for it, I would want to see it through to the end rather than it being forced on me, and I'm just like struggling.
So what I'm, again, very nice point, and what I was trying to bring to explain is, let's say your case. Let's use your case again. I know in debates or discussions here they don't like to use one case, but let's just use your case. So let's say growing up, you're very good in sciences, sweet, but for some reason your passion just dropped that you wanted to become a makeup artist. So that's where I'm saying that it will be painful to say, oh, with all of that wisdom and wit, you now use that to now, start to learn lashes. Would you eventually learn it later in life? Yes, no doubt. But at that point, you have a skill, you have something that
So yeah, so what you are saying is that it's not that we should demonize the passion, but we should say, okay, fine, you can chase your passion, but also you can also like chase something more stable. Like for example, I I think that it was just the whole engineering thing for me. So it was not like I was passionate about something else, maybe like football or this thing. But I felt like because my grandmother, she was a math teacher and she used to sew. So I felt I liked to sew, not like I knew how to sew like that, but I just liked that she was making, because she used to make clothes for us. So I was like, oh, I also want to be able to do. I didn't see it as like a business at that time or something I was really going to go into like full time, but it was just like an interest. And because I used to go to my grandmother's house, it was not far from our house at that time. So she used to teach me how to sew. So if I had said, oh, okay, my leave engineering, I don't want to do engineering, I don't want to do academics, I just want to go full time into being a seamstress, my parents would have been like, okay, let's stay there, let's have a discussion that going to school and going into like sewing or something, they don't have to be at war against each other. Like you just go to school, you can also be sewing. I had a sewing machine actually. My dad bought a sewing machine for me. So yeah, so I had it. So but like one should not affect the other. So don't throw away academics, because this academic thing is just a span of time, maybe the 6 years you spend or 5 years you spend in university. So don't throw. And this and sewing, you can be doing it along, maybe come back for holidays, you go back to your sewing, or even on campus, people sew on campus. So like one should not necessarily affect the other. I think that's what you're trying to say.
Because and this was the mantra I took into school when I resumed. Again, as at when I gained admission, I had started piano or keyboard, and so again at that point, I was like, I we had a band, and I was telling you that if we had followed to that band, maybe we would have become one of the biggest bands. But again, but my dad was like, so I think for him, for again, I know that sincerely as a parent, and I'm not saying this to demonize him. I know that I think a reasonable 50% reasonable parent would not want their children to do something bad. So I understand that all he was doing was from a place of love, and maybe if I were to be him, I might have done some things differently. Like maybe after school, I'll take my son, we'll go and play football together. Or maybe I don't like to play football, I'll just sit there, because I know one of the major issues then in the northern part of Nigeria was security. So he would not want to go outside with us, but he would not want you to go outside. And again, he's a pastor, so you had that religious tension too. So I really I now understand why. But then it was like this man hated me, like, because when I come back from playing football, I get some very good ministration. I mean, real ministration. And it will say, and there's how he says it in Yoruba, that you're a pastor's son, you will not disgrace me. And I'm like, no, I'm not disgracing you, sir. I think, I mean, my friends will go and see babes and they're writing, no, at some point you just write letters, but that was not really my mind. My mind was on that ball. And I say, no, I'm not disgracing you. But I now know what he meant, that, different things like that. And even to the keyboard aspect. So if I'm a parent now, I think one of the things I'm going to do differently is that, okay, let me be actively involved. Let me see, okay, because as humans, at each stage, you have different passions. So I'll just be involved. Okay, oh, this is what he wants to do now. Okay, let's see how we can do it. But I'll still remind him that I can put it this way. This evening, we'll go and play football together if you are done with your homework by 5.
Yeah.
That will push him to do the homework and get ready. I mean, for instance, our son, at the stage he's going, if you tell him that if he can reason more, if you tell him that, let's do this and we'll go to this place, I'm sure he will want to do it, because he likes, having that outdoor feeling. So it's just one way, one creative way. But I also understand, because, Baba wants to pray, wants to do many things. To go and sit down with one son at the park or at the football pitch is not something he had in mind. Though I know my mom sometimes, if she's at home, she would, obviously a mother will say, oh yeah, Lord, she read there, and then she has bad, like get back early and stuff like that. But I know his own was just, I want you to not make the mistake I made. And I really understand, because we were not economically viable, so he wanted his children to have that economic viability. So yeah, I think passion, really, as parents today, you can help your child or your ward or anyone you're discipling or mentoring to say you can juggle both. The only problem will be when they can't do it, then you have to stamp your feet down to say, see, this is what we give you money. Oh. If you don't have money, you can't follow your passion. Yeah.
Okay. So I think I will get back to the foiling of passion part, but from your experience, when did you have that reality check? I know, like, it's almost like your father instilled that reality check to you, that, yeah, you may like keyboard, you might like football, but this is not really viable in the long term. So you had that reality check handed over to you, but at what point did you by yourself stop seeing it as this man hated me and actually have an understanding that, oh, he actually meant well for me?
This will be funny, really funny, because reality check came when he died. Yeah. And sometimes scarcity push you. It pushes us to sit down and say, oh, okay, now it's down. I'm grateful, and I'm so grateful, and I'm really grateful for a lot of help I got. People who stood up to the reality then, or stood up to help. But much of it is like you will not sit down and say, okay, so now it's not in my hands. Like, it's one thing for someone to force you. It's not one thing for you to say, or more. This is my life. So usually it was that time, after when he died, the cry and everything. But it's only a stupid person that you now cry, you not sit down and say, oh boy, this thing don't real now. So that was where the check came, and it just got me thinking that, okay, what can I do? How can I, ensure his legacy? Now, I'm not saying this because maybe we're suffering that there was no food, though we're not the richest, but at least you could still get meals. People still supported our family in that sense. But at some point, you now say, so he wants me to study. And I'm grateful too for external factors. I'm really grateful for that mommy that helped us to now face academics seriously. But again, the donkey, you can push the donkey to drink water, but you can't force the donkey. The horse is what I mean. So, so I still think like, but the reality dawned on me that, oh, okay, now this is it. There's nowhere to run to. You are now in charge of your life. Do whatever you can do with it. So at every point, even when you want to fail, you want to get tired on campus, then you say, oh more, now only me do. And in a way, it happened very early. It was my first year. So it's like it got me, like maybe it was fourth year where everything don't spoil, you might, but that first year, it was like, okay, I have to recalibrate, and it could work both ways. Some people could have used that to say, I'm not a victim, or this one, or nothing. But I think that was where the thing really dawned on me. Then also with the keyboard, before I even got to school, in keyboard, you are always trying to impress people. You are always trying to be the best. So it's like a thing. You are scoring songs. You are not scoring songs really you want to know it, but you want to get to a service, and then they say, who is the pianist? And then you stand up. So again, that's brought that competitive spirit for me. Football was not really, football looks like a talent where you can just get away with it. But keyboard is now, you can have the talent, but you need to give yourself, because that's where I learned this idea of doing overnight. I could just, like, we're shooting now. I could just do something, and keyboard, you will be scoring a song till 5 a.m. Then, when you now do that, then you are now having passion for a book. You can read overnight. You are learning something because you've done something similar. Or even when you are dating someone, you can even work, have, overnight meetings. So I think that's where the whole idea of passion came from. But really, the reality check was, this guy don't buy you. So it's either you make money or you try to make money. Because my passion eventually on campus now became teaching people, softwares and all of that, and it was not making money. So you still have to.
Yeah, I think we're going to get to that part. So like how passion changes per season or per time in your life. So I think that like watching you speak, obviously I know the story, but watching you speak, my parents were actually lucky with me because they did not need to struggle too much, because like from like primary school, or what they call like elementary school here, I think already had that competitive spirit with like my classmates. Like I just wanted to be the best in class. Not
Because of alpha female.
No, the alpha female thing came later. It was not that time. So it was just me. I just liked book. Unfortunately, fortunately for my parents, unfortunately for some other people. But it was when I got to SS1. So I was like, we have something in OBMS, my secondary school commendation list, where you have the first 20 people in the step, because we had like almost like 200, not in a class, but like in different classes. We had to divide us into like arms. So we had like 4 different arms in a class. So like JS1 had 4 arms. JS1 like ABC, but that's not what you call it. So combination list is at the end of the term. That what they call it, term, or school year. Yeah, and then the school year you have the first 20 people. So usually I'm always on the combination list, but usually I'm like number 13. So I'm there, but I'm on a safe to say. Sometimes I will drop to maybe like 17. Sometimes I will drop off from commission list to maybe like 21 or 22 and everything. But like I was not performing bad. But when I was done with like GS3 going to SS1, my mathematics teacher called me, and I think you've heard about him, Mr. Adewale. So he sat me. It did not die, yo.
Oh,
Abba.
sorry, who is that?
No, that was my primary school headmaster. It did not die, please.
Sorry, sir.
No, that was the person that just died was no, the person that died was my primary school headmaster, headmaster, Mr. Doku. Yeah, yeah, thank you. So, yeah, but my mathematics teacher, and that's another person that also like shaped my life, my headmaster. But my math teacher sat me down and he was like, "Baby, so like, you know, you can do better than this," because I was comfortable. Like somebody that was not in the community that sees me will feel like, "Oh, she's one of the best," and I think I was like winning best in mathematics. That was the only thing I was winning, but and then being on the community list. But he now started me down that you know you can do better than this. I'm like, what do you mean? Am I not trying enough? Like, what do you want me to do? But he now sat me down and then like counseled me, gave me resources, gave me books actually to read. And I was like, okay, fine. Let me see how this whole thing goes. And that time once you get to SS1 in my school, you can choose between like sciences, arts, and commercial. So I chose sciences. And under sciences, you choose whether you're going into engineering or like medical sciences. So I chose engineering. So that's when we take classes like further mathematics and everything. So he gave me books in further mathematics and everything. So and then he counseled me the whole like talk and everything. And that was the time I started reading overnight because of his words. Like it's just like someone believing in you that you can do better. It's like, oh, okay, what have I been doing before? But okay, let me just try what this person is saying, and maybe it's going to yield an effort. Because I used to see people that were above me in commission list as very brilliant, that I was not something that they're not people I can beat. But when I started doing this overnight, like studying more and everything, the next time I found I was number 7 on the combination list out of 20. And I was like, oh, okay. I think another time I was
So mommy too, I heard she does it with you.
yes. So my mother as well too. I think I was telling someone was asking me recently about like what's the one word, like a statement that has changed your outlook on life, and it's actually what my mother said to me apart from my math teacher. About around the same time, which was very funny. At that time I was having issues with technical drawing TD because I did not really like drawing. I like maths, but not really much construction and drawing and everything. So I was thinking of dropping TD. And once you drop TD, they are no longer an engineering in my school's eyes. So that means you are going to medical sciences, which I did not want to go to. But I was like, this TD is hard. Then she said, like, you know that nothing good comes easy. So if you see most of my notes in, in secondary school, I used to write it in front of my book that nothing good comes easy. It's saying that. So yeah, so it's those kinds of words that actually pushed me.
I think we should have sessions like that where you take something. Go on. Go on.
Yeah, so those words, my mother's words, and also it's not just words, at least from my mother's side, and also my math teacher's side. It was not just giving me words and giving me pep talk or motivational speeches. They also did the work to help me. My mother used to stay because where we moved to in Monia, there was no electricity supply, like flat out nothing. It's better now. That time, no transformer, nothing. Like there's no hope of light. Oh my dog, I know.
Go on, please.
So like it was not. There was no prospect of electricity. Like no light at all, no transformer. I had nothing. So if you want to read, it's candle or lantern. So a lantern burns kerosene. That time, kerosene was expensive. So my mom was like, okay, use candle, but she was afraid of me sleeping off and then maybe burning down the house. So she used to stay awake with me anytime I wanted to read over the night. So I really appreciate my mother for doing that, and also for just believing in me, and also my mathematics teacher for believing in me that time. So I would say they had it easy because at that point in my life I already wanted to do the work and like improve myself. So there was no distractions per se, like with other quote unquote passions. That was my main passion. I had other things that I like to do, like maybe I liked poetry. That's funny enough. At some point, I like to write. I had like a storybook self, and I used to write, but it's not something that I felt like I would pursue. To just something I just like doing on the side. So yeah, that was my main passion. So fast forward to university, the passion followed me through. Obviously, since you met me in the university or in college. So, and I still had that drive of wanting to. It was not even like I was trying to prove anybody wrong or trying to prove a point. I just liked book. That was just it. So that was it for me. So, but speaking of passions changing, I think when the reality check came to me about like this whole career thing, I had a career in mind that, aerospace engineer, design, and everything. And but when we graduated, and it was like, okay, this is what I wanted to do, and that was not what it was not forthcoming at the time. I think that was when reality dawned on me that all these things, like, you can sit in your bubble like in college that, this is your ideal life, but once you leave college, it's like, okay, this is a different reality, and then you have to recalibrate. So recalibration became my recalibration became content writing. I actually like to write before, so but it just
Way to make money. It's a recalibration.
that's recalibration now. No. What I mean, it's not as if I've dropped what I actually wanted to do, but it was just like I had exactly just like a way to make money. So like I had to make money somehow because money was not forthcoming, and I didn't want to. I could have, but I didn't want to just keep relying on maybe yeah, like my parents. Obviously, my parents not kick me out, but I just wanted that. Okay, fine. This is my life.
Your boyfriend self no get money.
So honestly, and that's the okay. Hey, fast forward to that.
Yeah, boy, a pandemic. It was then, though.
Was, but I think I don't know. Sha, that's what I say. Like maybe
But boy, broke. Oh, broke.
that I don't know. Let's say my eyes were single for some for when it comes to like money. Like I don't feel like I was the kind of person that was greedy to like be chasing after money like that. You can say maybe because that I was not poor, I was not rich either. So, and there are rich people too also that are greedy. So I don't think it's that. It's just there was just this contentment that I had with life, that things will work out. So, but there was no means of me making money with engineering like immediately after school, even with our first class. That you think that everybody will be queuing. They rush me. They rush.
I take that another time. But maybe I don't know, Sha. It's true though. And just looking at it, because even the job interviews and all of that, it was not like they were like as hot as we expected it to be. But thank God we are here now. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's where my whole drive of aerospace engineering not came to a halt, but paused. And then reality started dawning on me that, okay, you may not make money from your aerospace engineering thing now. So you have to find something else to do. So that was when I got into freelancing. Like, we have a different video about that. We talked about it already. So fast forward to stages in life and different passions. So you talked about the fact that you were passionate about football at a point. Later, I moved to keyboard. Then later, I metamorphosed to teaching people. And then later,
But again, all of this, I was pretty smart with mathematics. I won from primary school, or what was it called here? Elementary school. I always did well. Like mathematics, I can play in others, but that maths, as if no, I got an award at the end of primary school then. So I like, you will know that this guy is not he's not dull, but it's not just like, I remembered my handwriting. My dad had to come. They beat me aggressively that I must get good handwriting. I cannot forget that experience because in my school then we used to like handwriting club, and so mine was Wesa. And so my dad came in that day very late, maybe 5 p.m. I know you first see my uniform. Almighty Shere Law, I've played. If yes, so the headmaster, he first wiped me where my pops say no, say that I collect, wipe me. So they wanted to teach me how to write, and that was the day I think I had that shift with my handwriting. So handwriting, all of those things. So he just wanted that perfect. He felt like if he works on Timothy, every other person would take suit. So he wanted that perfection with me. But as at primary, even secondary school, I was not, I would not say I was the best. Though again, mathematics, like that one, you just know that this guy is smart. You know that I play a lot, like, but you know he's smart. It's not like he's not smart, but it's just that he's given to. And my school is even worse. Command. One day we'll do a video about it. Command, yeah. Like even if you want to, when I came from the north, I was in command in the north. I wanted to be serious, no dubbing, nothing. When you see every other person doing it and you say, okay, make myself join them. So, but eventually I'm grateful for Adams. Yeah, that's one very good influence on my life. When I met, got to the lesson, that shift started. Again, push for excellence. But even when I was doing all of that, my mind is still on keyboard. I'll still go play keyboard and all of that. But yeah, eventually got into school. Even in school, many times in my room, is scoring a song, but at least I gave my all to engineering. Though I was not as good because my dad called me too when I was going to enter school. I was like, see, young man, all of these skills you have on the keyboard, it will last you forever. But this current time, the next 5 years is exactly. So when he said that, those words will not make any sense. It's like, Baba, you never know. Me, I'm the next, I'll be the next best pianist. But, with time, you begin to say, oh, this guy is right. And, I give my best. And yeah, thank God we're here today. So,
Yeah, so talking about season of life and different passion and varying passions. So when you are younger, you think that this is your end all be all, and but once you start getting older, especially at different stages in your life, and then you see that your passion is actually changing. And so how has it changed for you? Obviously, for me, I went from engineering, core engineering, which does not really left, but it's not as strong as it used to be. Then I went into like freelancing, and then the whole love of, oh, I don't have to be sitting in an office to work with for someone came into play, and it was like, oh, this is nice. I was making money, not too much money, but I was making money. And later, the money, like the streams of income was just going down. People were not really looking for content writers at that time. Then I was like, okay, I need some form of stability. Then I went back into um, corporate world, trying to get a corporate job, and I did not get a design job. I got a sales engineering, application engineering job. So that's I got into that, but it was still engineering, so it was not like too far from what I wanted. But actually, close to when I was about to leave to come here, I got an offer from an aviation company in Nigeria, which was like that. This was my dream. You understand now. So like, this is the dream. This is what you have been working for. You wanted to also work in an airport or like an aerospace um, company, and then this was the dream. And then when I got the offer, I was like, ha! And it was paying more. It was going to pay more than where I was working before. And then I sat down. I was like, okay, I have this offer. Then I had another offer from that other school. Then I had the offer for this for UNL here, and you were already here. And also looking at the time, because I was looking at the time. I think I was supposed to get to work by maybe 7 a.m. when Tranos was more like 8:30 or 8 or something. And coming from I was staying, if I was waking up by 5 a.m. to get to Tranos, that means I have to wake up late by 4 to get to this other place. And I think it was a 7 to 7 walk. Like it was intensive.
how much you leave? I think I've forgotten.
Maybe like I was being paid maybe 110 in Tranos. Maybe that one was like maybe 180 or so.
I would be like 500.
No, just starting now. Like,
For that time, she ever look, yeah, you want to finish her.
and then I was supposed to be on call again. So like Saturday, Sunday, I'm supposed to be on call. Like just be on your phone. Like anytime they call you, maybe it was probably more than 180, but I don't remember because I eventually had to decline there, like at the interview. Oh God, when I thought about it, I was like, mm. Then you have church commitments, and I was like, even with how stressful I felt, like Travis was stressful because of the like Lagos traffic and everything. I feel like I was not that I was not giving my all to like church commitments, and then we have this other work again that's going to take even more time. I said no. yeah, my reality is no longer in this line. So I don't know. Maybe down the line, I've not worked in like gotten an offer from an aerospace company again. Like maybe here. So maybe it's something I would have what I would like to do later if if I'm in a different season in my life. But at that time, it was like no. Even though it was like my dream come true, it was like no. This is not considering all other things that were going on in my life. I could not accept that offer. So then I came here. You think you're passionate about research?
I never thought about it.
No,
Your only passion was to leave Nigeria.
no. Actually, I've even left Nigeria. I've come here now. So, but now, like, okay, you need to be passionate about something at some point. So I'm thinking, okay, let me see if I can throw it on my research. But research to show you shaking. Then let's find something else to be doing that will keep your sanity in line. And yeah, so just thinking about, so yeah, so how did your whole passion transition from that time to till now? Like I will go further to say that even as a parent and also as you are responsible for your younger ones. I don't have anybody. I'm not responsible for anybody. So like how has that passion and also the stability aspect of it, like how has it changed that um and also we usually advise someone, especially like a younger ones or someone that is asking for your guidance, that should I chase my dreams now, or should I be more realistic with my expectations?
Yeah. For me, if I was going to advise someone now, I would look at the time frame in your life. The moment you're done with university in Nigeria or anywhere, or once you're done with college, the propensity to follow passion over a source of income will drop so low. Because on campus you can leverage all the resources you want. You can, and I think that's the place where you can get your passion up there. And to be really sincere, I think much of what we do now that we consider passion started from there. It starting my journey in design, video, all of it, like forex, everything. The seeds were planted then. So it's just that now I have a means to water, yeah, and resources to water the seeds and ensure it's growing. But once you're done, you will become a liability if you are just focusing on that passion and your
That passion has not taken off already.
and so that's where so where we now make the balance is you need to get something working before you can continue that. And I'm grateful but not grateful, because anytime I say this, it looks like I'm grateful for the COVID period when some people died and all of that. But again, sorry if it was a terrible time. I know some people had to be in their jobs too, but for me it was one of the greatest points in my life or my career. A lot of things changed at that point, and many of the things I do today, I can say it gave a lot of time, because number one, the country was on a hold except for essential workers. So you had that time to experiment, and it was quite a long time, about minimum of 4 months. So you had
And we were serving that time, so Alawi was coming in, so you're not really worried about a source of income per se.
and then the company I was working with to serving out to, I could just try. I'm not proud to say this, but many times they will think you're not smart. Well, I think my leader, the person manager, I think she knew that this guy is pretty smart, but his focus or his mind is not just here. And but I'll try to give my all. I'll still try to ensure things are going, but you will know that there's something more. So when I was going to do my passing out parade, as at that time on my status, I started putting forest content and everything. So they were like, "Oh, will you stay with us?" And that was the day I said, "Oh no." Again, maybe bad move or good move, I don't know, because where I am now, it looks like it was a good move. But as at that time, thinking back now, the reason why I did that primarily was because I felt that my passion in financial world could give me a life, and really it could not. My saving grace was I also had a backup skill, so I could do design and other things. And the truth about design and those things is, it might not be constant, but you will not depend as much on people as you would.
Come on, you shall come in.
Yep. And so that was the saving grace for me. And eventually I got a company, that I could work from home, and it was really good. So all in all, my journey has been, but again, I'm grateful. I think I've had opportunities, I've had privileges, even till today. Really grateful for those privileges, and that's why I don't like to take opportunities lightly, because many people might want to be in your shoes. I mean, to be able to do this now, vis-a-vis what we are doing, is a big opportunity. Many people will not be able to do this, as like, as much as they will want to. So it just gives you that humility to say, okay, I'm grateful for this opportunity. So if you want to pursue your passion, it's fine. Some people, you have outliers, someone like Pella, for instance, but his passion and on TikTok, and he's everywhere. He has more money than even you and I, and it's fine. But you might not be that Pella. The same way with my dad's instructions, then I could maybe be a Messi, and and you may not. So I mean, I'm even not Messi. So and imagine that I did not have any other thing going on. Today I would be so angry with life. Probably I will not have met you. I will not even meet you, because we will have met his campus. So I will not have met you. So in all of this, you just have to look at, there's how I tell my brother and my younger ones, or anyone that believes in me, I say, try to have 2-3 things working for you. So your passion might be the third. Now it's hard though. I must be really sincere. It's hard. Like, I mean, see what we are doing now. I'm feeling sleepy.
Just so you know, this is 3 a.m.
So this 3 a.m. I'm shooting this, but this is passion, and this is because throughout tomorrow I have a lot of things I need to do. So this is just like our best time, and we also have a son to and we don't want him shouting all over in your ears. So when people discuss and they look at passion, they feel that they want other people to understand that this is what they love to do, and they should give them time for it. No. Your passion will be something that you first exactly, and you should be able to do the things you have obligations to do. So how you do that, no one cares. But if in case your passion now blows up, people will now stay in your success, and they are hailing you, and they are whining you, and all of that. But you should know that you have to give time to it. So it's just like that. It's a painful reality. We all will wish that the passion you pick at that time, boom, you become. But again, you are competing with the world, and some people, that's all they do. Yeah. And they have that. I mean, imagine you're competing in football with someone that's like, let me say it like, if my son was to start football today, most likely he'll start in an academy. That's an opportunity I would not have gotten. So, and my dad knew this clearly. He wears the carry boots all over Oshodi. So
yeah. Okay, so what you're saying is that like the leverage that you have, and the leverage that like anyone has, is actually what might help fuel that passion. That it makes it look more successful or it makes them more prone to success than someone that did not have that kind of leverage or that opportunity.
Let me use one weird unrelated case. Recently, you've seen Bisola's daughter. Mm-hmm. She has been acting. Is she the best actor in the world? No. In short, sometimes she forgets her role. Her lines, like, there was a time she had her mom is a man in the film, and she forgot it clearly. She almost said ma. Then but they didn't edit it because again it's a low budget. It's just something to keep the masses going, and she gets monetization and all of that, which is good. Kudos to her. I love the content. I will even watch it. So, and it's clean in that sense. It's not as vulgar. But my point is, if an upcoming passionate actress or young actress, this is my passion, and you compare yourself with her and say, maybe she's the one there. Say, oh no, her mom already has given her, like, she will go, yeah, she'll be at the YM award night just because her mom is there, not because she necessarily will have the skill. If she now work on her skill and she's good, kudos to her. So you always should know where you are coming from, and that's one thing I'm grateful. I said it again, my dad's death, it made it clear to me, when you are seeing some people play in class and they are making noise just in behind and they are shouting, different things, you know that. One of those guys that used to do it, I don't want to be too specific. So we were discussing that was a year ago or so, and we're just discussing, and he was telling me some things. He was giving me an information because of the privilege that we're here and all of that. But the information was so detailed that I said, "So your dad is like this? Thank God, say I no follow you play." You that's it. Oh, these people, they already have that leverage, so you might not be able to do that, and it's painful way in life. So you must know where you are, where you are coming from. Is this what you can do? From there you can pick it up. But to think you always have the same leverage for your passion is not, it won't be the same. Let me use this last one, like SMJ, for instance, the pianist I listened to. He was really lucky to, at the early stages of the person he learned from, what's his name again, I've forgotten, but he's also a very good pianist. In short, Mastercraft, you should have, yeah, he learned from Mastercraft is one, I want to say BA, but as very good pianist, but he did not go the gospel line because maybe he wanted to, and he's really but now he's coming back to God. Glory to God. But so I think they said SMG used to listen to him a lot. And so again, that time he was still growing. And then Mastercraft's mom, no, SMJ's mom, she did a video that Mastercraft should please, that this guy is so crazy about him. And that was how he got the leverage. Today now, he's everywhere. In short, he has more name self than even Mastercraft, though he always gives that honor to him. But see that leverage. Now, did I get that leverage? So I probably I would not have gotten it. Would I be as skillful? Do you have pianists that are better than SMJ? Yes. Would they have such platform? No. So you always should know, okay, this way, if God will not help you, you get a bit of leverage. Like I got leverage to get a good laptop from my scholarship, and I have the laptop there, and I was like, wow, in 2018, 2019, I got this. Now my good use of that has been helpful to where I am today. So always know what are the things that I have, and I hope I'll really send this to someone, so that, and I'll tell the person the leverage the person has now that she can leverage on. I'm using a she already, that she can leverage on to build her skill, because you always have those leverages. You just need to open your eyes to see, okay, what is it? People will just start complaining, oh, I want to start tailoring, I don't have a machine. No, maybe you want to start tailoring, you don't have a machine, but you have a good phone your neighbor has, or somebody down the street will have. It's not that when you're now good, you now remember that this person is younger than me. No, at that point, even if they send you to buy and potatoes, that's not you are here for something. Get it and you're done. So usually you would see, you always have that leverage. Like when we are starting this now, there's the leverage we have that we can procure this, and one way we have used it in a way. So you always have to think, and it's always there. But the problem is you might be too fixated on something else that you lose out on what is available to you. But yeah, it's been a journey, and I'm still hopeful to see what years to come will bring. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about stability. Some people always have this, and which is also something we discussed last week at the conference I attended. Last week. So about the fact that how work or career these days is more, so it's so towards like a make it your passion kind of thing, whereas a couple of years ago it was more a money making, is like a stability thing. And even when I go on LinkedIn, there's always this fight with millennials, or what do you want? Yeah, millennials versus Gen Z. That the Gen Z they're not staying in a job for too long. Before you know it, they're talking about mental health. They're leaving. And because of habit of social media, you can make money as an influencer and everything. That there are more options to make money. So people don't really want to hold down a job, or they don't know how to stay in a job for long. Like, people that maybe older generations that have been in a particular job for like 20 years, 30 years, they've not left because it's stable. So, but you now come to another generation where 1 year your legs are shaking that I want to move. I want to exactly. Yeah, you want to move to the next best thing, and then people that talk about like job hopping. Is it good? Is it bad? We are not. That's not what we're debating today. Well, I'm just saying that where stability has helped us. When I talk about stability, I'm talking about like something that we may or may not like, but it's giving us money. It pays the bills. Versus something we are really quote unquote passionate about. And what you said like in the beginning, that you might be passionate about something until it turns into your job. And when it turns into a job, you to no longer be a passion again, then you now start to find something else to take your mind off this job that it has now become. So where in your life, where has the stability helped you to fuel your passion?
I'm going to say something weird now, but so let's backtrack. Before we even get to stability, you spoke about the whole concept of people moving. I have a very weird opinion about it because I think if you are young, I believe you should try many things. Yeah, like let's not the generation that stayed one thing for long, God bless them. But I feel if you are young, try, jump. You get to a stage where you can't jump again. Probably you don't have anyone depending on you and all of that. But
I think that's one of the things that I was like making a note of. That's like, when you're not, nobody's depending on you, nobody's looking up to you, you're not responsible for anybody or anything. It's just you and yourself. And also you have something to fall back on. And maybe last your parents will not kick you away. Like they still you are trying, but like they'll still come in and help you once in a while. I think that's like I said, that's the best time to experiment with other different passions, different skill set and everything.
I mean everything, because for me now, even let me use forex for example. One of the first things to do when you're learning is to also experiment. Like, I'm in a stage in my journey now where I'm just laid back not because I don't know. I'm laid back because I know I can make so much, but because of the condition I'm in, quote and unquote, I can't do that. But my point is that if you don't allow people to explore, people might live at the end of life, they might lead a life of regret, which many of our parents, they just swallow it. But many of them, they will always feel like, I could have done ABC, I could have tried this, tried that. Eventually I just started this and then so back to stability, so that I don't go into that topic. For me, stability it has helped me a lot. I have to be very, very sincere at every point, because my passion is excellence. Someone asked me that what would I want to be known for when I die? Because from started with video making doodles to,
Because they look at you like you're being confused, you don't know what you're doing.
and so that day I could not answer that question. I brushed it off. Obviously, as a friend, we brushed it off. Funny enough, he now gave birth to a son, and the son was on my birthday. That same person. I don't even know if I told you. I'll tell you his name. And I was like, oh wow, because he called me on my other line. So I was like, oh, hope you're good. But I saw it a week after, and I was like, oh, he just wanted to greet me on my birthday. That his wife put to bed on that same day. But that aside, so the question on stability for me is usually, I think if you have a conquering or a conquer mindset where you always want to have a challenge, then even when you solve a problem and you have that stability, if you want to be excellent at something, you also want to go further. So every point in time, the stability has helped me in that sense. Graphics design, I got a job. I think I was doing well with them. At that point, I felt like, okay, I've conquered design. Let me find something else to do. But the funds from that was coming. Yeah, it helped. And so different things like that, even to what we're doing now. So stability is really good. I always will encourage it, especially as you grow old. You always need a form of stability, because you don't want to be borrowing money. Okay, let's use it well.
Money is what we are talking about.
Stable income. Again, once you're done with school, and let's say in a Nigerian context, you go for service, you need that form of stable income. And if you want to stay with one passion forever, it's fine. But for me, I like to think about different things and try to see how I can tie it all together. So, yep, as long as it brings money, fine. As long as also whatever I'm putting out is you can see it and say, oh, this guy is not laid back. I don't like.
No, I get your point. Like you trying to be excellent and everything, but just like that was saying, like no, I think at one time, I think it was during that COVID time that both of us actually had a conversation, and it was more like, oh yes, you're learning these different things, you're learning A B. Why are you? I don't know why you're laughing. What? I don't know.
The man buy you what? Spaghetti burugu come la manche. Please go.
Yeah, so like we had a conversation like towards the tail end of COVID, like when we were almost close to like almost done with our service because we served like same time. So and I we're just saying, okay, yes, you are learning. I think that time you learned Photoshop, you learned all the Adobe tools, and you're doing forex trading, and you're doing different things, and you're just with things like
I even got into Dreamweaver, started coding.
I said all the Adobe, Dreamweaver,
It was my teacher that caused the problem. The guy too, yeah, Dan of BYOL, he does everything. Hopefully,
yeah, but he is at that time was in his 50s, I mean, or in the 60s that time. So is
he is even teaching us to make money. So he makes money off teaching us.
exactly. So my point was that like yes, it's good to learn all these skills and you're trying to be better at them. I'm not against that, but I think what I was saying that time was that there are people that are not as good as you are, and they are making money already with the rubbish. No, not rubbish, but with the little that they are putting out. But you can just be stuck on I'm trying to improve, but there's nothing coming from it.
This should be a topic for another day. Sincerely, really, I think we should speak about it, because as you might have noticed that is one part in my journey now that I want to define. That okay, now we are good. Let's just be pushing things out. That perfect. Even ChatGPT was like, "Guy, this is a perfectionist mindset will kill you." So
Yeah, that's the same thing that's happening like now.
yeah.
Like, when we're having another conversation again a couple of months ago, I was like, you just keep procuring things.
No, I think we're at the apex.
That's what you said last year.
No, you should know me now. When we are almost there, we're almost there.
Well, this one is on camera now, so I will play it back to you.
No, we're almost there. Especially when it comes to production like this. I think we're there really in that sense. So things, I mean, we could just hop in. We didn't plan for this. I mean, 2 hours ago, we didn't plan for this, and we could just hop in, and we're doing this instantly, and we'll be done. If they wanted to watch it instantly, if we wanted to go live, we could. So
Yeah, I get it. Like,
I get your point.
yeah, I get no. I get your point, and you get my point. So I guess like sometimes anytime we are finished the whole rant of not this one and that one, and then I think back and I'm like, okay, like yesterday when you're showing me like the videos of last year, 2 years ago, and also like now, like the difference is very clear. But that time it was like, why are you just buying why are you just buying something
That I was crazy. You shoot a podcast like what me and Ubimbi were talking about. To take you almost 2 months to edit, because except you throw other things away. But now with a lot of knowledge, I think we can do things instantly.
So like I'm just saying like that's like you get my point of
I mean, like, so thank God that sorry to cut in. Thank God that we documented that time, and that's why if you've noticed now, in short, you might get tired with the next coming days, because like everything, obviously we'll have private life, but apart from those private things, I think it's really good to do not be too fixated on being the best, but push out what you want to. Just keep pushing things out.
yeah. So I think that leads me to my next, which is going to be the last question. That question, like prompt about like this whole passion versus stability thing, is that where does because the truth is that there's like two extremes. So one set of people can demonize passion and say just be stable, get a stable job, and then whatever passion you can do your passion a little bit, but and some people say, oh, passion is what works for me, and if I did not follow my passion, I would not have been this in life. And there are other, obviously there are cases of both extremes, like good examples of both extremes. So but where does, like you also talked about the fact that stability has helped you. Obviously if we didn't have the fund we had from our PhD, you'll not be able to afford all these things. So but now where does passion now come into play? When you are stable, you have a stable income, so where does passion come into play?
So I'm always grateful for
It's not be as if we are doing one versus two, even though I said that's the topic, but it's not like one against the other. Like passion does not stop stability, neither does stability stop passion. So, but what role does passion play?
I'm grateful for this society we're in because it's a good example of, you see a lot of people that have a bit of that fair balance, and you see, and maybe because they're the older generation, the younger ones might not be like that. They also just go, sometimes it might be constructive laziness where you just go into your passion, because it's usually the things we call, exactly the things we call passion
That come easy to
is,
you.
yep, it's masked under convenience. And that's why sometimes I don't like to use that word, because if your passion is not inconvenient, I don't think it's a passion. Because even at that time, that you're talking about, majorly then I might not sleep. You just see me looking like one wretched boy walking around. So, but you see somebody that say, oh, this is my passion, this is my passion, this is my passion, this is my passion. And out of 24 hours, it's only 2 hours person is doing for it. And then the other time they are playing or doing something nasty. So when you see people do it here, especially the older generation, you appreciate them. Like somebody, the guy that I got some of this photography stuff from, he said, oh, that it was just his passion, he did it for his family. And I was like, oh,
You invested this much.
most of his tools, that most of the things I bought from him, when you compare it with the equivalent of what I have, they're higher. So I was like, what? You bought all this just for passion? But he now told me how he has some other jobs and everything. And so they do that a lot, where they finance their passion from things that, they, from what their work and other things, that guy. So usually it's just that my generation now, we just want it that people will just revere you, that thank you, oh, I can see your passion. No, the best way is get something going, use that to fuel the passion. If you become so popular with it, then you can turn off that other thing you're doing, stay with the passion, and you'll be so happy. But this idea of, oh, I'll just turn off everything, it will work. I mean, you have the 5%, the 6% that to work for, but many times it will throw you into abject poverty. You just become angry and all of that. So
Dependent on people, and if people don't help you, be angry at them as well.
so it's and usually for those that would break through in life, I still, maybe I'm myopic, I give myself that doubt, but there will be people that channel that stability into passion. There's how that thing works so well that it will just work, and it gives you that leverage. You can also speak of, oh, I became this, but I was doing this before. I became that, but I was doing this before. I told you Messi, some of the skills he has. I was like, oh, so if you have skills outside football that you do, Ronaldo too, the same thing. So you should be able to build other parts of your life as you're doing whatever you feel you're passionate about, especially if it is not bringing you money at the early stages. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think also when we're like prepping to come to the US, like trying to apply to schools and everything, especially the US, one thing that I think, one advice that I was given is that the United States sees you as a whole person. They don't just want to see that I had all A's, or I was first in my class. I was, yeah, it's good, but like what about other things? So that's when you're not talking about like maybe community service, volunteering. What else do you do aside from just being good with your books? So that's when you're not thinking about. So I think that's where the whole passion thing comes into play. That it's not just academics. Obviously, academics is good. You should. We are not. We can't be. We will not be here without like that academic background. But at the same time, is that okay? there are other things going on for me, just like you said, like just having other things. And recently, when I was preparing for that poster presentation I had last month, and then they asking me to send like about myself and everything. And I was writing like things that I do and everything. So Kayla had to reach out to me. I was like, oh, congratulations and things like that. Like you're doing, feel like you're human. You're not just a robot being programmed to sit in an office or just do your job nine clocking by 9 5 p.m. and you're out and they thank God. And then you're just practically useless for the rest of the time until 9 a.m. the following day. But you are human, you have a life, have other things that are pumping your blood. You understand? There are things that are they are also pushing you to get up the next day. Because the truth is that your 9 to 5, yeah, it pays the bills, but sometimes it may not give you that quote unquote drive or thrill that you are really looking for. And then
And sometimes the passion can push you away from the 9 to 5. Because I was at the PhD presentation, as you said, and that day I was shocked because it was even the supervisor that was saying, oh, he's into cycling, he's into this, he's into that. And I was like, oh, if they try to say this about me, are you sure? Are you sure? Like, because many of the things they said, just basic things. Oh, he's into cycling. He does some experiments at home, and he loves his kid. Like, they just try to show another part of the guy, the human side. And I was like, oh, if we have to do this for my PhD, maybe that will be the major presentation I will do on that day. But I get your point. It's really true, because I think it's hard here to balance. They just face one thing at a time. When you see somebody say, oh, I'm not going to go to church just because I'm an undergraduate. I'm focusing on just my academics and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that's it. So live a wholesome life, and always know the times. There will be times where you need to balance things well. Do that, yeah.
so I think is that balance is where this whole thing comes, because like what you said, like when you're younger you have no responsibilities, like in that sense, like you're as free as the bird to do whatever you feel like doing, experiment, try other things. But when you have like some other responsibilities, like for example, we can't gamble with a lot of things because we have a child to take care of.
I was telling Thaddeus now. Let me give this example as we close. He said, he didn't have electricity, so he just took his bag, left to somewhere. Then I laughed. I said, "Wow, like if I was in that same shoe now, I can't just leave you and say, yeah, we're gonna see you, and then I'm going somewhere to my friend's place." So that's just life. So the time did I do it? Yes, we did it then. Just go to somewhere, go to an eatery, and
I went to Danija's studio just
so that's just the thing with life responsibilities. And that's why I still believe that the younger generation taking risk is not bad. They just need it to be tailored. Because I mean, there's a guy in the forex industry. What he did was he got a credit card of almost 50K. He maxed it into his trading account, and it worked out. It was during the oil boom, and it worked out for him, and that was it.
we advise it now.
I know I take risk, but no, 50K. Just imagine it went. Some people do that. They will just go and kill themselves. So you know the risk. But sometimes, again, I'm happy he did it. He's happy he did not. I am. He's happy he did it because he's doing well for himself today. So yes, but that was a stage in his life. He could not have done that if he had a kid and a wife, and then all the family saving, when it's not like he's betting or something. So that's just it for me. I think, again, look at the time in your life. If you're seeing this at a very young age, I think it's good for you. If you are seeing this at your mid ages, I think you can still find some things to do. But if you are older, when I mean older, you're married, you have a kid, bro, JJ.
Yeah, so I think the what's like your ending closing remarks.
So again, my closing remark would be, always look out for opportunities. You would see it. Sometimes it might not be as comely as you feel. And we're in that generation where we want it to be based on our terms. I don't know who told us that thing, but maybe again we'll talk about that in another episode. But life will not always come at your terms. Sometimes the people you would even gain stuff from, they might speak to you in a way that your mental health will be dead. and your mental health needs to go down so that you have clear sense. Sorry, I'm being funny about it, but that's the truth. I don't know where we got it wrong, where we want to be right and the other person is right. No, once somebody would have a leverage, they would exploit it, and that's life. But you would know that, okay, there's a time for this. Yes, there's something I'm looking for. There's a time for this. I remember then when I was working at that company, and sometimes the guy would say things I did not really like, and but that was it. It's my boss. So, and I moved on. Is this generation you say like call your boss and say, sir, you must always calm down. The guy is paying you. I'm not saying that bosses should be bad, but always know that you will have opportunities, leverage it, try to be cool, get what you can get, use that to fund your supposed passion, obviously, or by God's grace or by luck or whatever you believe in. If it works out, then you're good, but please don't close your eyes to opportunities. You have a lot around you. Yeah.
I think my closing statements will also be kind of similar. Like, let your like being open to, like, don't be close minded. Yeah, I think that's the word. Don't be close minded, and don't be like a one way street. Like, just be open to opportunities. And what you're talking about, that sometimes your stability, or the income you get from your stability, will can fuel your passion, and vice versa. Because your passion too can bring in some opportunities and also some money that can also fuel.
I think we should talk about that. Yeah. That will fuel your life or fuel your stability self.
Yeah, so like, even like I was thinking when I was freelancing, it was just like nobody knew me. It's just me in my house, and just writing content. But the thing is that fast forward to maybe like now, if I want to freelance now, because I have more opportunities, it will probably be, I don't know, it might be easier for me to yeah, it will be easier for me to
First way is even to open accounts. You understand those accounts?
and also the fact that, oh, I'm here already. Yeah, exactly. So opening an account, I now talk to people. Like, I go out, I meet people, like in Nebraska, like conferences and everything. Exactly. So all those kinds of things actually help, and it didn't help me because of my passion. It helped me because of my stability. So, and also the passion can also give back to the stability. Like, for example, this social media thing that we are doing, content creation, someone can see it. And even I was showing you some emails that I got, and it's like, oh, and like another opportunity again that can also become a sort of stable income. So like, they both feed off of each other. So we should not see one as the enemy of the other, and see that because I'm staying in this whole stable mindset, I should just forget the fact that I'm human. I should be able to like do other things, and also that the people that are passion oriented should not also discard the stability part of life, because the truth is that passion sometimes can be hard. You can make money in first 3 months. The next 6 months, nothing can come of it.
How we dey awake like this if no be passion?
If I don't sleep. So I think that's my closing statement. That don't be don't be close minded. Just be open minded, and be able to be fluid. That if one door closes, that should not be the end of the road for you. You should always know how to flow to a different door.
Okay.
Yeah. My husband is been yawning.
John has covered me. But yeah, thank you for again always tuning in. I think this is the best place to leave it.